climate change isn't about only the climate. It's not just about the animals and the plants in the ocean. It's not just about pollution. It's about transformation of economics and social and cultural and religious processes. It's about transformation of collective, tribal, and egoic process. It's about transformation of political and legal and organizational process. All must be met, transformed, evolved, educated, facilitated, collaborated with, peacefully, joyfully, and constructively. And in the process, there are innumerable marginalized populations in our world. These marginalized populations, wherever they are, whether they are marginalized due to prejudice, whether they're marginalized due to economics, whether they're marginalized due to gender, whether they're marginalized due to inadequate education being made available to them, whether they're marginalized due to lack of access to technology. There are innumerable dimensions of marginalization of populations. The vital message we're hoping to get across here is this. Marginalized populations matter. They count. They're equal. We want to serve them. We want to support and nourish and heal them. We want to support their full, comprehensive, collaborative engagement with all other populations in the world. The wealthy, the powerful, the well-educated, the networked, the very capable people in our world that can, the movers and the shakers. We want to engage them with these marginalized populations, because if we don't, then the marginalized populations will not be a key and core participant, collaborative participant in absolutely vitally necessary conversations from the get-go. They'll be left to the tail end, as they have been historically throughout human history. They will be seen as less than, not as important, not as vital, not as collaboratively supportive. They'll be seen as not as potentially contributory to the process of climate change. And that would be a travesty. That would be a wrong that was done to them, whether for out of simple ignorance, out of the trajectory and the momentum or the inertia of tribal process or historical, national, or cultural process, or out of prejudice or bias or self-centeredness or narcissism or greed or some motivation that would keep them in this marginalized, non-participative, non-collaboratively participative state and dynamic and process. There must be a mechanism by which that inequity is resolved so that resources do flow to them, education does flow to them, technology does flow to them, and their contribution to the process of climate change flows back, so that there's a dance, an orchestrated dance that we're all moving together as one, like a flock of birds moving back and forth in the sky, without bumping into each other, without causing harm to each other, without any of the birds being left out of the process. We can do that now. We have the technology, we have the internet, we have Chloe's system, we have social movement engine that is the social movement engine that is designed and is effectable in our world. We have innumerable tools, software, hardware, infrastructure, logistical, economic, political. We have all of this capacity. It simply must be turned to balance, to equity, to harmony, to respectful equality of all marginalized populations. And with that shift in focus and perspective, everything becomes possible. When we let go of any prior predisposition of exclusion of any dimension of humanity from the table, the decision-making table, the power table, the education table, the money table, the collaboration process. When that shift and change occurs, the entire world will shift with it. We can model that. We can educate that. We can workshop that. We can present that. We can support that and nourish that. The world needs that. It may not, everyone in the world may recognize that we need that. It's not a want. It's not a nice to have. It's not a wished for someday. It's not pie in the sky. It's not nirvana. It's needed. It needs to go. We need to put that understanding in the need category. That is the bread and butter. That is where the rubber meets the road. That's the meat and potatoes of transformation of our world. No population left behind. No culture left behind. No gender left behind. No race left behind. No religion left behind. In this transformational wave that is, we're just now beginning, that will sweep the world, and will either sweep the world in a very constructive, excellent, graceful, beautiful way, or will sweep the world like a tidal wave in a destructive and pain-producing way. It's our choice as a species which way the transformation occurs.